Welcome, welcome, welcome to our first ever episode of the Project Nori Podcast. Today's a big one because it's the first one. The word of the year for 2026 is discipline.
Yes. And when we're talking about discipline, we're not just talking about, we're robotic and rigid. It's about the freedom that comes with it from basically having a plan. Someone once said, failure to plan is a plan to fail. So today we're going to be talking about how we got here and how we're going to be holding each other accountable to reach our goals that we'll also go over here later. One of the key phrases for us, a year ago, we let the week happen to us. Today, we tell the week what's going to happen. Motivation is a feeling that fades. Discipline is a system that stays. And so with that, that's like kind of our mantra. It's going to be what's going to help us accomplish the goals that we have set for 2026.
Yeah, because we didn't just wake up one day and, we're like, okay, let's just do this and get after it. It's a long time coming. We've had definitely different spurts of, all right, we're going to change our life for the best. We're going to get after our goals. But this year, it just really clicked. Or I guess the end of last year into this year, it really clicked. Exactly. And so we wanted to kind of look back.
Before we get into that, though, before it gets too late, right? I'm Julian. This is my wife, Stephanie.
Hi.
These are our dogs here. Our black brownish one is Nori. She's a Great Pyrenees and Belgian Malinois German Shepherd mix. And then over here on the far right, the loud, noisy one, his name is Gyoza. He is a Golden Retriever, Labrador Retriever mix. Basically the perfect combo. He's like the poster child for what do you think of when you think of dogs? He's the rambunctious one. He's the one getting into everything. Nori's our calm. She's the protector of the house. Yeah. But with that being said, we're going to get into basically the evolution of how we got to 2026 and how we decided 2026 was going to be the year for success, basically, for us. We didn't just wake up January 1st motivated.
No.
I know every single year is like a rebirth for a lot of people. Right?
For the New Year resolution.
Yeah, exactly. And actually that brings up a good point because I think New Year is my favorite holiday of the year.
Really?
I think so because, it's a worldwide phenomenon where it's this thing that you get to reflect on your past and then you get to try to actively make decisions to better your future. And everybody is doing that across the world, which is kind of insane. Yeah. Think about it. It's like this year is going to be our year. Everybody says that, and few people do it, which makes it that much even more difficult. And we're one of those people that don't do it, right?
Yeah, I was going to say we haven't really fully captured the meaning behind that.
But this is the year.
This is the year. So now I guess we'll try it.
And so with that, I want to say this is like the beginning. We are 30 years into this simulation of life, right?
Oh, okay.
But it's the beginning of the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
And we're capturing this beginning part for you guys, right? So we're not there yet. We're not at that very successful, what we, think is success. We're not at that point where we can just say we've made it. You guys get to come along on that journey with us as we figure it out on how to get to that point.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it fun because we're not in our 20s or early 20s anymore. It's not like we're trying to find out who we are, I guess, that identity thing. It's more like we're adults, we're married, we're in this stage of our life where we can sit down and plan out, our future in a different way than you are when you're in your 20s.
Yeah, we got married in 2019. Right after we got married, we moved from Virginia to Hawaii. It wasn't like a direct move. I went to Hawaii first. You had to go stay for work, and then eventually we met up. We got married, then we go to Hawaii for about 3 to 4 years.
Well, at the time, we were both active duty military, still in the military. But, 2019, it was December 2019, so you had to stay in Hawaii after we just got married. I had to go back to Virginia again because the military drives our lives, and I couldn't meet back up with you until 6-7 months later. That's just the reality of it. So we were doing long distance the very first few months of marriage, which traditionally is that honeymoon. You're always together.
Getting into it. And so because it was kind of belayed by the military, we essentially had an extended honeymoon. Yeah. Right? All of our time in Hawaii. was basically our honeymoon. And again, in the middle of our time in Hawaii, you got deployed.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we were doing this long distance thing for another 6-7 months. And, it kind of prevented us from actually sitting down and laying the groundwork for what will inevitably be our future, whatever that looks like. In 2023, we got another assignment. We were moving together and we were coming here where we currently are at now in San Antonio, Texas. And that basically made it the end of the honeymoon. This is where we actually started being more intentional with our future. This is, we bought a house. We got dogs, starting our little family, trying to get everything together. And a big part of that was I made the decision to leave the United States Air Force and go my own way, basically. And that was a huge catalyst for what we are currently doing. I was already in for 11 years at the time before we made this decision. It was a hard one, but it wasn't like I woke up at 11 years and was like, I got to get out.
Yeah.
I was going to get out after the first 6 years. I had good leaders. They convinced me to stay in. And then for the next 6 years contract, it was like a daily, monthly thinking about, am I going to get in or stay out? Or,
which is interesting
get out.
because I was the wife, also we had the same job when he was in. So at work, we were able to have more insight. What is that?
It's a paper. And this is part of it, Our dogs are a huge portion of why we're doing this. So please don't get annoyed by us stopping and having to deal with this gyoza specifically.
Yeah. Paperclip.
Gyoza, give me that.
It's just too much. So
you were seeing all this from like the spouse side.
Oh, yeah. At the work perspective, Julian's, he was really good at his job. Like he did really well. He had great relationships with his supervisors. He had good mentors. He was doing roles that were great opportunity to build him professionally, personally too. As his wife, I'm like, oh no, this is still some positive aspects that the military is contributing to your personal development, but yet he wants to leave it. So it's just discussing all of that with each other.
Yeah.
You have this feeling you want to leave the military, but I also see where it's helping you out.
Yeah, and it's true. It's like kind of the peak of an Air Force career. I was hitting that ceiling, at least for me in my mind. But at the end of the day, you're still in the military no matter what job you're doing. So when the duty calls, you have to answer. Mm-hmm. And it would drive exactly where we're moving to. It would drive the hours you're working, whether I get to come home to you or not. I joined the military straight out of high school. So this is all I know, right? Mm-hmm. That is straight out of high school into the military. Now this is my life. And I didn't get to experience anything else. And maybe that's like part of the why I got out. Yeah. But getting out was essentially me trying to take back some control of my life. I don't need to be a 100% control. I'm aware that some things are out of my control. But I want at least some of it. And after 12 years, decided to leave the Air Force.
Yeah, and there's also some comfort. Like I'm still in the military, so there is stability there still. But at least it's good that we're not both making those type of sacrifices. Because there's definitely points where, I was night shift, you were day shift. We literally only saw each other for a couple hours, and we're just opposite schedules. In Hawaii, I did a exec job that just took a lot of my time. And then you were also working a mission that was very demanding. Yeah. So we're both just throwing ourselves at work, and what matters most to us, our relationship, our mental health. It was just, do we want to keep doing that? Making those same sacrifices for a whole nother 2 more contracts for you.
And right before getting out, I actually had quite a bit of conversations with us and then mentors and just random people that have been through this. And I want to say like 80% of people were kind of like, stay in. You're going to regret this. You only have 8 more years left, and then you can have a pension for the rest of your life. But I actually sat down with my last commander, and it's like kind of one of those things you just have to do before
when
you
you
decide to get out of the
yeah.
military. Right. And so I sat down with him, but he was very understanding. He actually sat down. We talked about some things that I didn't even consider. But like I said, I was at this point in my career that I was just going to keep going up. So as you promote, you gain new roles and responsibilities, but also your ability to go out and do things lessens. And so with that was going to be the path I was going. And your goal is to commission.
Yes.
And so not if, but when you do commission, right, it's going to be, now we're going to start having these competing goals in our career. And it's going to drive us to go separate ways, essentially. And not with maybe our relationship, but, Dewey's going to call you to somewhere and I'm going to have to go somewhere else. And then we've already done this long distance thing for a combined total of 14 months. And that was difficult. Now imagine having to do that for years at a time because we have to.
Yeah.
So that was another factor that I didn't really consider. But yeah, my commander at the time, him and his wife had to do that. He understood that completely. He was like, yeah, his wife drives assignments, but if he can't go to the same place she's going to, they're not going to the same place.
Yeah.
And it's just something you have to live with being in the military. So yeah, ended up getting out. I'm now a defense contractor, so I'm still definitely military adjacent, but I go work 8 hours and I call it. I cannot show up tomorrow or, the next day of work.
Yeah.
Or just ever again. I could quit. I can call it quits if it starts like getting into that crossing that boundary for us or whatever else. But yeah, I think that was just like a huge catalyst.
Well, now that, you're out. And so now we have some more control, right? It's now, okay, now we can truly kind of plan out. All we have to do is sort of accommodate, my military aspect of it, but it still feels like we can do it, like a little bit of a burden's off our shoulders.
Yeah. And now we're here. I got out last year. And so all that led up to this year. We're discussing our future. What does that look like for us? When we looked at our vision at the end of 2025, going into 2026, for the year of 2026, what did we want that to look like? We have a question here. What was the one goal that felt the most intimidating to put on paper for us? And we discussed this a little bit. I think the most intimidating part is just putting it on paper. We have these goals. We're going to do our best to hold each other accountable, as we've always have. But now putting this out there into, the void and knowing that friends and family are going to see this and listen to this, there's another aspect of accountability from that. So you guys are going to know what we're doing, what we're trying to do. And then if you hit me up in 6 months and I've not been making progress or whatever else, that's like, I don't want to let you down, but I also don't want to let our family down. And so like putting this out there is hopefully going to help us stay not just motivated, but disciplined in the whys of why we're doing what we're doing.
I'm excited about the change, the goals itself. I don't mind sharing with strangers, with whoever even cares to listen to this or just follow along Project Nori. But there's something about being more open to my side of the family. Because once I joined the military, it's been 8.5 years, I've really just been removed from that. Growing up, our family's always so close and dependent on one another. It's like everyone's just intertwined, like their lives. Now I've really loved my independence from that. Very protective of the life we have built and we're building. I don't know. It might be like some pride or some made up thing in my head. I feel like I don't want to be defensive against my choices with my own family. Right? And so, recording this and like putting all our stuff out there, not that it's like everything, but I just want to make sure we're protecting our peace. And I know we will, but I guess that's just thinking about that. That's the most intimidating rather than setting our goals together, because I love that partnership aspect of it. But it's just like, I don't want inputs from other people.
Being vulnerable, being vulnerable to everybody else and allowing everybody else to get basically the sneak peek into our lives that nobody, like the things we are sharing, we have no idea how our families are with that, because these are private things. And the things we're sharing aren't going to be the super private parts of it, but it is definitely more than what you would be accustomed to. And yeah, that's basically how we got here. But we want to move into the 2026 workshop portion of this, right? So it's like basically how we actually sat down and decided to roadmap this year for us. What it really just started out with was, how do we envision our perfect life?
Yeah, because we have multiple conversations, right, as anyone does. But that, I think, pivotal moment is what you're talking about. Like, okay, what does our perfect life look like?
Yeah.
What would make us feel like we are proud of ourselves, we feel accomplished?
Yeah, we're happy. We've made it, right? And with that, we can see that life. We've pictured it. We've laid it out for us. But now, what are the obstacles? What are the barriers? What are the things that we are doing that are not getting us to that point?
Yeah.
Right. And so we had to list that out. And that was like another vulnerable moment. It's like we were already self-aware. We know the direction we were heading. But now to, again, lay it all out on paper and having to attack those things was going to be the more difficult part. And here's where the discipline comes in, right? It's like,
Yeah, so we had the 3 to live well, learn more, and create often, which encompasses the health, the wealth, our personal development, and just our hobbies or what we're passionate about. But it's the discipline that we're lacking.
These aren't, this wasn't a eureka. This isn't, we're not the first people to have these. This is literally everybody's goal every year. But like we said, this year something clicked. And now it seems more realistic than ever that we can achieve these things. As we're going to close out this chapter in our lives here in San Antonio, we probably have a few, probably like 3 years at best left here. We want to make sure that the next chapter of our life, we're starting off on the right foot.
Yeah.
So with that, 2026, we have our health goals. I'm trying to lose about 30-ish pounds by the end of 2026. We also have some like midway goals. We have a Vegas trip coming up. I would like to be 50 pounds lighter for this trip. That'd be cool.
I do. I want to lose 20 pounds. Actually, I think it started at 150 and I want to be like 130, 135, whatever. But I don't want it to stop there. I want us to have an active lifestyle where is it, we're constantly going to the gym, or is it, I don't know, we're walking the dogs more. Like something needs to change as well as us losing weight.
That's a good point, because I was listening to Matthew McConaughey's Green Lights book.
Yeah.
But he was saying a lot of people think it's hard to get to a certain point. It's like hard for us to lose these pounds. But this probably will be the easiest part of it. The hardest part is maintaining that. Building that perfect life and then keeping that. That will be the hardest part for us. And what has helped us, at least in the health-wise, we joined a new gym. It is a very bougie boutique gym. We're paying at a minimum $130 a month per person, which is kind of insane to hear, and for other people to hear us say that. If you want to come check it out, let me know. But
I guess
this gym is insane. It's called Club Studio, and their big thing is they host about 8 different types of classes in a group setting. So you're just going there and working out.
Hot Pilates, spin class, boxing, all those things you can think of. It's like a studio row, they call it. They have locker rooms on the outside just for this section. Every class has its own room, right? So they can offer more classes at the same time.
And that's what they're known for. And then they also have just a regular, free weight gym, machine gym, whatever, what everybody knows as like a regular gym. And it's very open, very clean, very inviting. And because of that, it's making this going to the gym seem less like a chore, right? It feels actually nice to go. It almost makes you want to go. We're not at that point yet where we're like, oh my God, gym is my life. I need to go.
No.
If I miss a gym workout, whatever. But but it's a lot easier. We've gone to the gym more times or at least personally, I've gone to the gym more times in January than I've gone basically all of 2025.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just the health aspect of this. Next, we have our career and education goals.
Yeah. I've been doing some sort of online college program. I'm trying to get my bachelor's, but I finally transferred over to UTSA. I kind of messed up in the registration aspect. So I missed the online program deadline. So now I'm doing a in-person class because I did not want to skip spring term. Right? I'm going to class Monday, Wednesdays in the morning before work, which shifts my work schedule. So I'm staying later than normal, but I'm enjoying it so far. It's only like 3 classes in, but
yeah, I mean, it's just something that has to be done, right? And it's, again, having the discipline to actually do it. That was another thing for 2026. 2026 is our year of doing. We say we have all these ideas and want to do things, but 2026 we're actually doing. So that's huge for me in my career. I'm in a very good spot right now. It was nice that my first job right after the military was actually pretty beneficial to us.
100%. Yeah. I mean, and it's also like the Air Force invested so much training into you where when you got out, like the defense
I already had
contract,
all the skills.
You really did. And so you
just jumped right into it. And it's been a good part, but it doesn't end there. Part of me getting out was kind of a challenge to myself to actually get after the real goals and dreams. I don't want to be in defense contracting forever. What I do want to do is find something that I'm passionate about and do that forever in the hopes that it also, maybe generate some income. Maybe not. But like we'll get to a point to where I don't have to work. And so doing the work now so I can live better later. That's kind of what we're at in this. I am going to school. I've been going to school on and off for years now. I was at UTSA starting summer of last year. And then I did summer term. That went well. I did the fall term. And I freaking bombed. Like, I was doing very good at the beginning. But then it really just caught up with, like, I'm going to school full time. I also have a full-time job. I also have a full-time family. And I kind of just gave up in the end of it. But that's also another 2026 resolution. And so this year, we pulled it all back. What are the actual important things that we have to do? And we're going to go do those things. Try not to bombard ourselves with all the little things. But that's where I'm at, my career, education. And then the legacy of it all. Project Nori. Hopefully you guys listen to, or maybe hopefully we've already put out like an introduction that you kind of understand what Project Nori is. But in the grand scheme of things, at a very high level, Project Nori is just us documenting the journey to get to where we want to be. We want it to be real. We want it to be relatable. If friends and family are listening to this that may think more highly of us, a lot of people do think very highly of us, just how we come off. But understand that we are humans too. We go through the same things that everybody else goes through. We have the same struggles. We have different struggles as well. Being married couple with no kids. We got a kid or a dog.
We got 2 fur babies, but it's not
but we are very fortunate, but we also have our own struggles. We're going to share some of that with you guys. And we're going to share the ups, the downs. Mm-hmm. And it's mostly like the downs if we're going through like the worst time of our lives.
No.
But it's like on this path, on this journey to forever, there's going to be obstacles, there's going to be barriers, there's going to be lessons learned. And we want to share that. So that way, hopefully, we can help you. At the same time, we're trying to help us.
Yeah, hopefully some of it's inspirational in some sense. Yeah. Just by...
And that's like the serious aspect of Project Nori. The other half of it is I just want to be able to look back and see what we did, what we were up to. We never really posted a lot. We're not social media people.
Yeah, I know.
And you at least give like little updates here and there.
I do.
My friends all see it and they're like, oh, it's nice to see what he's doing.
Because you don't post anything at all. Yeah. And so it's like your friends from like because I'm showing you in something or the
Yeah.
dogs, and it's like I'm updating them because you never share anything on social
And so
media.
this is like a way for us to share with everybody. Hey, if you really want to know what we're going to, check out projectnori.com. We got a podcast, we got blog posts, we got pictures of our dogs and us and whatever.
We're trying to learn what discipline is for us. How do we handle like our big choices, right? Because we haven't learned what discipline is yet, and we had Hawaii honeymoon vibes of literally just doing anything and everything that we wanted, even some of being here in Texas. So we're faced with the choice. What are we doing about it?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to, I think any successful story, there was a process to it. For us, wasn't really a process until now. And we've actually just naturally stumbled upon it from talking about our goals and actually wanting to be disciplined and getting after those goals. We basically have this new rule now where it's essentially, hey, there's this thing that we want, no matter how big or small, you know, when driving to work, it's, oh, I want a coffee, you know, that takes a toll. Or Bruno Mars drops his latest world tour.
That still kind of hurts a little.
Drops his latest world tour, and it's like, shoot, 2025 us, we would have had tickets to Bruno Mars in the first 5 minutes of him, you know.
And good seats, too.
Yeah, exactly. But now we actually are thinking about it with intention. Is, hey, buying these tickets now, how does that affect our 3 goals of living well, learning more, creating more? And it's, if it doesn't contribute to any of those 3 pillars that we have laid for ourselves,
that's the decision maker. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
No, we don't need to have.
Yeah, we don't need to go see Bruno Mars, even though it may be his best and last. No, it's like, but it's like, yeah. Now we're just actually thinking about things before we do it. We've been a very spontaneous kind of like couple. It's like, hey, I have the means to have whatever I want. I should have whatever I want, right? But now it's like, if I can hold off for just this year, the rest of our lives could be magical.
Yeah, we're about to look back in January. I didn't realize how much choices we are faced with every day. I mean, all of this, again, it's not like groundbreaking what we're talking about here, but just those small things is like, part of my health is I told myself I'm not going to have any additional sugars or desserts or sweets like that. I'm not trying to count sugars in any of my food or meals, but just something simple like that. And I found myself like at work, people bring in donuts. Yeah, just, I don't know, anything. I like to cook or bake cookies every now and then just because I'm craving it. And I'm like, dang, I actually do eat more sweets than I think. And I told myself I wasn't going to do it. So I should follow through with what I say.
It really is. Like, as you go through your daily life, you're doing these regular daily tasks. They're just so randomly are a ton of temptations and distractors and deters that are trying to break you from. And it's not like, is me having one donut gonna matter in like 20 years?
No, but it's the discipline of like, it's gonna do it.
If I can't hold myself accountable for this one donut, like this small little thing, how am I gonna hold myself accountable to us reaching our goals?
Yeah. Well, okay. So it is January 30th or 31st. Is it the last day?
Yeah, it's the last day of January.
Okay, last day of January. So let's do a January progress report. How do you think our first 30 days went?
This has by far been the most intentional month of our lives together.
100%. Yeah.
I think we have accomplished a lot this month, and I'm very proud for the fact that we have been able to do a lot of what we set out to do this month. We've met our budget goals. We've worked out more this month than we have all of 2025, at least me specifically. Our family we're going through this like struggle, right? And I don't want to call it a struggle because people are actually going through real struggles, but it's like we're putting ourselves in this tough spot. We are creating friction for ourselves now so we can have a frictionless life later.
Yeah.
And in January, I think we did a very great job. Although We might not have maximized what it could have been. This is literally just the beginning. This is the first 31 days of this
going to
year.
the gym more.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're just being very intentional about everything. We are actively trying to better our lives, and it was pretty noticeable. And I think family and friends also probably noticed it as well.
Yes,
So
what do you think worked? What's one action or something you did that?
I haven't gotten it to science yet, but noticeably when I prepare for something, it was much easier to do. It's like setting out my clothes the night before so I can just wake up, get ready for work. Setting out a gym bag the night before so that way going directly to the gym right after work.
Yeah.
It's like trying to make this process as seamless as possible so that way I'm not giving myself an opportunity to back out of it. And all that came down to was just like preparation, I think, is the key moving forward. So I think knowing that now, it'd be nice if a new goal for February that I pre-packed and pre-planned the night before for every next day in all of February. And if I can get that habit down, this rest of 2026 might be too easy.
Yeah. Jokingly, I think I'm meant to live a very convenient life, and I know we can be there, but this month is just that reality check of it's going to suck to have to go to school or go to a class beforehand. Just embrace the suck in it, that I can't have coffee, that I can't have it all right now in this moment. But it makes me excited because I know a year from now,
we're gonna be.
We can have some more.
Yeah. We'll be so thankful we did this, and that's probably the biggest thing is that we've envisioned this perfect life, and now I get to have that in the back of my head whenever I'm making any decision.
Yeah, and this Project Nori, which is really main thing. What is that called? Like idea baby.
Yeah, it was like idea baby. I don't know what else to call it.
I've definitely just am running with it too, and obviously, I'm embracing the whole mission part of it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of too. I'm like, okay, if we have this thing that we're Project Nori and these goals we talked about, I'm gonna have to just embrace this like a little bit, and I'm just gonna carry that into February because it worked in January.
Yeah, we had a good January. Let's have another good February. And all the little goods should add up to a great year. Yep. So as we move on to our final segment here, the wrap up, we got our final thoughts, and I'll let you say your final thoughts first.
Final thoughts. I am a checklist person. I love lists. I love project management. So I am really excited for this project and to take you guys along by the end. Hopefully we found some disciplined habits for ourselves. Overall, I hope that's the bigger picture you took of us rambling on today.
Yeah, I mean, same, right? I think 2026, year of discipline. With discipline, you need intention, and we have the blueprint. We have the momentum. We had a strong start. January, we did really well. Now, if we just keep that up, keep showing up to the gym, keep sticking to our budget, doing the hard things now, eventually we will live well, we will learn more, and we'll be creating way more often. As a final thing to you guys, the listeners, the viewers, fans, friends, family.
Cam,
yeah. Cam, I know you're going to be supporting this the whole way, so thank you already. But yeah, for listening to this, thank you for watching. Please, if you would like to keep up with our journey, projectnori.com. That's projectnori.com. On there, you'll be able to find all of our socials, our blog posts. These videos will be on there, YouTube, whatever else. If you just go there first, you will find everything else. Your support will definitely help us in the long run, and I can't wait to share more with you guys.
Until next time.
Say bye, Gyoza. Bye, Nori. Bye, guys.